Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to thank our ranking member for allowing me time. I rise to express strong support for H.R. 2218, the Coal Residuals Reuse and Management Act. Last Congress, this chamber twice passed legislation on a bipartisan basis that was weaker than the bill before us today. Last Congress, the effort resulted in legislation to create a state-run waste disposal program with minimum federal requirements while assuring that coal ash can continue to be reused and recycled in everyday products. The legislation before the House today continues that model, but with even greater environmental protections, including accelerated requirements for groundwater monitoring, fixed deadlines for when problems at compound may be cured, and a periodic inspections for the structural integrity of impoundments. Currently, there's a patchwork of state programs to regulate the disposal of coal combustible waste with no federal oversight. H.R. 2218 would be the first time to establish comprehensive minimum federal standards for coal ash management and disposal and give the EPA the authority to enforce the compliance if a state does not establish a coal residuals permit program or if a state's program does not conform with federal requirements. This legislation would assure that coal ash can be continued to be used beneficially, which puts billions of dollars in our economy annually and protects tens of thousands of jobs in the beneficial reuse industry. Encouraging beneficial reuse of coal ash ensures less of it ends up in landfills, which is good for the environment and good for our economy. I know some members are concerned about the legislation, but we've worked diligently with the majority and stakeholders to make improvements in the bill. The assertions by some of my colleagues that the legislation does not do nothing to protect the environment are making the perfect the enemy of the good. Part of the legislating is moving the ball forward, and we cannot continue to work on legislation. It simply will die in the Senate. This bill is a reasonable compromise and a win-win for the American people that will help protect the environment and create jobs, and I urge my colleagues to support